You are a big Twitter user. You've always got some thoughtful things to say, thoughtful, if humorous things to say about the industry. What do you think?
Yeah, and I just should clarify for anybody watching that I came on the show to talk about our earnings, and then this happened. So I don't know enough to add much value, but what I would say is, clearly Dick and Jack came to a conclusion on what they wanted to do. I think this is probably more of a story about Wall Street's ability to, kind of think long-term about high-growth technology companies than it is about anything around Twitter's potential. But, I don't know enough to really kind of comment beyond that.
But you do know about the Twitter product as a user. Do you feel that, as a service, Twitter is living up to its potential?
Well, I don't think any service is living up to its potential. So I think there's always room for building new capabilities, doing new acquisitions, opening up new parts of your platform. So I saw some of the things in Chris Sacca's notes. I agreed with many of them. Some didn't resonate, but I think that's the case with every product. I mean, we have roadmaps at Box that go out for the next 10 years, and until we accomplish all of those, then we're not living up to our own potential. But as a Twitter user, I'm quite happy with the service.
You mentioned Chris Sacca, early Twitter investor. I interviewed him for an upcoming episode of Studio 1.0 that's scheduled to air tonight. We taped this interview before this happened, but take a listen to what Chris Sacca, this is a guy who just released an 8,500-word missive about what Twitter could do better. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I've talked to a bunch of other people at the company. It was a really well-received post that I think, done right, sets them up for success, points Wall Street in the direction of this is how you should be evaluating the company. You shouldn't be out there headhunting the CEO. You should instead be focusing on these things.
One of the things, George, that Sacca was very clear on is he just wants Twitter to be easier to use. 1 billion people have come to Twitter, and they have not stuck around. Does he have some fair points here?
I think he definitely has a valid point.
But he's calling for some sort of dramatic shakeups in the product to break things out as apps, to focus more on live and live video, to make it easier to see those, NBA tweets from the players during the game.
Well, I mean, I definitely have agreed with almost everything that Chris wrote. I mean, there's been some product experimentation around Periscope, which I think is pretty cool. But I think the basic core experience is limited. And has not gotten significantly better. And there's been pretty much a constant rotation of VP of product, which basically has told me that there isn't a good vision around product.
And it makes it very tough, because if you keep turning out the management that way, then you never get traction on any one roadmap.
What do you think, George? We talked about Google buying Twitter, but of Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Alibaba, are any of those companies likely? Do you see this a deal happening, really?
I think the most likely, Alibaba is just the complete wild card. I think the likely one is Facebook. And I view Facebook as a publishing company. They continuously buy new channels. Instagram is a new channel. WhatsApp is a new channel. I think Twitter will be a new channel for them. And they can move users across these different channels. They can capture them in their different psychographics and different demographics, across different mental states, across different ages. And to me, that would make the most sense.
Aaron, as a Twitter user, and full understanding that you came on here to talk about Box earnings, but as someone who is thoughtful about the industry, what do you think of a company like a Facebook or a Google buying Twitter? Is that something that you as a user would like to see?
Well, I think what I would just say is if you were any one of those companies, you'd want Twitter. And if you were Twitter, I think there'd be way too much potential to stay independent. So that's about all there is to it on my end.